Hey guys, Zexis here. We're going to be talking about controllers and controls today. What I think is optimal and what each of the controls in-game change. So first off, talking about controllers, most important thing is just picking something you are comfortable with. I personally play keyboard and mouse, and a lot of top players play either just keyboard or just controller. We have seen both of these win LANs and online tournaments, so most of it just comes down to personal preference. A Brawlhalla player, Zaruga, even streamed him getting to diamond on a steering wheel. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend trying to be competitive on a controller like that, but you can see that the possibility is somewhat there, and I am even wanting to try to challenge myself to a Guitar Hero controller 0 to diamond run in the future. Now, in-game controls are going to be a little different. The basic controls, such as what you use to move and attack, are going to come down to personal preference as well, but there are some options that are pretty important to change, which we'll go over now. The first one is going to be this one right here. Boom, pick up with quick attack. Now, by default, the game has this turned on, but I would highly recommend unchecking this box. I don't know how many times playing this game when it was turned on for me, I've accidentally attacked instead of picking up the weapon. And in this game, it is super important that you can do the option you want when you want, instead of gambling with possibly doing something you don't want to do. Another option that can be really helpful to change is going to be the prioritize neutral over side button. This is unchecked by default. I would definitely recommend checking it. So what this one does is it's going to make it so if you are holding up and a horizontal direction, you will use a neutral air instead of a side air. So this is super useful, especially on blasters, where you can unlock a ton of new strings and stuff, such as that. So X pivots, super cool stuff for sure. And yeah, I would definitely recommend changing this sooner than later if you're a new player, and even if you are a more experienced player, it shouldn't take too long to get used to, but you definitely might drop some combos at first. Lastly, turning off up to jump can be super helpful in this game. This is going to make it more consistent for throwing your weapon up, which can be super useful for getting back to stage. For example, right now I have up and jump on the same key, and you'll see when I try to throw my weapon up, sometimes I will jump, sometimes I'll stay grounded, even though my timing is pretty close to similar every time. So this isn't what you want in a fighting game. In a fighting game, spacing is super important, so being where you want to be is something that is going to be vital to gameplay. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to go to controls, and change, like right now I have a W on jump and aim up. I'm going to want to change W to aim up. And what this is going to do, now my up throw is going to stay consistently on the ground unless I actually press my space bar, which is my jump button. That's going to make it so I go up in the air, and that's only going to happen if I actually want it to. Some inputs are also going to be easier for combos with a different button for jumping. For me, the downlight dash jump recovery on blasters is a lot easier using spacebar than it is using W. So this is super dope, super good, and I would definitely recommend changing this. Hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe, since I'm going to be pumping out videos in the next while, and make sure to check out the other tutorials I already have out, as well as my social media, which I will link down below. Have a good one, guys. Peace.